Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, and sometimes Hitler, and also sometimes Castro. Those are the names that we atheists are given whenever someone wants to give an example of how atheism has done a lot of bad things too. Now, first off, I don't think I need to go into the whole Hitler was a theist, or if he was an atheist, then he kind of contradicted himself, or it's kind of shaky both ways. Regardless, let's say he was an atheist for purposes of this discussion. I try to explain why atheists don't do bad things because of atheism the way religious people do because of religion. A lot of theists don't seem to get that argument. They think I'm making a cop-out. So I came up with an analogy that I thought was really good, which is a hitman murders a lot of people because of his job, and a non-hitman also ends up committing murder. Well, the hitman did it because of his job. The non-hitman, we don't know why he did it, but we know that it makes no sense to say that it was his not being a hitman that was the cause. It's pretty much the same here. You can't say that what someone isn't defines them. Now, some people will make assumptions and say, well, being an atheist is the same as being self-absorbed, and therefore it's a self-absorption that's the cause. Whatever. However, here's something else to think about. If I ask you to make a list of Christian fanatics and, actually, you know what, religious fanatics, things that they've done that harm society, you could probably make a big list, and you could probably cite a lot of examples. Probably that guy down the corner who's harassing people, telling them they're going to hell. People trying to take the rights away from gay couples. People doing certain things in Africa. The Catholic Church. You can list many, many, many examples. Now I want you to make a list of atheist fanatics and ways they're harming society. Now some of you might say, oh, well, Dawkins and Hitchens, but come on, I mean, Dawkins and Hitchens, they're celebrities going on book tours. I mean, maybe you don't like them, maybe you don't agree with what they're saying, but they clearly are not, they're not doing what like Pat Robertson and Jerry Falwell are doing. Okay, so if you count them out, then you're left again with Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot. Think about those two examples. The religious fanatics that are on the street, that are trying to change laws, that are doing all these things, and these dictators and their regimes. Do you really not see the example, the why this is not appropriate? Okay, for starters, all three of these dictators were fascist dictators. What are the odds that fascism would lead to totalitarianism? And actually, come to think of it, I can name quite a few dictators who also were fascists, who were religious. So maybe the dictatorship is the problem. And furthermore, do you really think that the rise of secularism in the U.S. is going to lead to a dictatorship? Or could those other concerns, the religious people trying to influence law, couldn't that be a slightly bigger issue? I think when you look at these two examples, it's very clear that the religious side has a lot more potential for harm. The atheist side, according to you, the only harm it's going to bring is it's going to lead to these dictatorships, which I assure you, I don't think the United States Constitution is going to completely change and set up a dictatorship overnight, anyway, because people stop believing in God. So, yeah, just think about that. The only bad atheists you can come up with are three extreme dictators. That's it. That's the only example you can come up with. You cannot think of a single person who's ever blown up a building and said, for atheism. That's all I gotta say.